All right, this is the Chapter 6 System of Equation word packet. And we're looking at number 10. It says Mr. Healy invests $10,000 in two accounts. One account has an annual interest rate of 7%, and the other account has the annual interest rate of 5%. If Mr. Healy earns a total of $620 in interest for 1 year, how much did he invest in each account? So here's what you're going to do with this problem. You're going to start out and go ahead and say what your variables stand for. That helps a little bit. I would definitely say that X is the amount at 7% and Y is the amount at 5%. Okay? So 7% dollar amount and then 5% dollar amount. The amount that he invested is $10,000. So your first equation would be that the amount in the 7% plus the amount in the 5%, X plus Y, equals $10,000. Or the X plus Y is 10,000. Now, he now earned interest on that. So on the amount in X, he earned 7% interest. So you would put 0.07 times the amount X. The amount in the 5% Y, 0.05Y, together, out of those two interest rates, together, he made $620. Okay, now let me tell you what you're going to want to do. Anytime there is decimals like that, you're going to want to make those whole numbers. Okay, so I am going to actually take my top equation times what? No, sorry. Bottom equation. I'm actually going to take this bottom equation times 100. And I'm going to take this top equation. If you can see ahead, when I take that bottom one times 100, it's going to be 7x plus 5y. What would I want to take the top equation by maybe? 5. Okay, maybe a 5 or maybe a
7.
Negative 5. Negative 5. It could be 7 or negative 7, but I'm going to do one negative. Is that okay with you? Okay. So the top equation would be then negative 5x minus 5y equals negative 50,000. You good with that? The bottom equation is going to be 7x plus 5y, and how much is that going to equal? 62,000. Okay. Now it looks pretty good, doesn't it? My y's are going to fall out. I've got negative 5x and positive 7x, so that's 2x, and that's going to equal 12,000. Last step is to divide by 2, so the X amount is how much? $6,000. So $6,000 is invested at 7%. How can I figure out how much was invested at 5%, Ben? Yeah, so I'm going to go 6,000 plus Y equals 10,000. Subtract your 6,000 from each side. How much did he invest at Y? $4,000 at 5%. What do you think about that? Questions about that? Tora?
If you had 620, right where the original equation, how did you get 62?
We're taking that whole equation times 100. And we do that so that the 0.07 becomes a whole number. So 620 times 100, you'd add on 2 zeros, 62,000. Good question. Yep.
Would you have done substitution?
You definitely could have done substitution if you wanted to on that one. Change the top equation to x equals or y equals. Definitely. Definitely could have done substitution. Questions? You really do have an option on a lot of these of either way. Yep. Okay, questions about that?
That problem.
All right, we're skipping ahead to number 12. A trail mix that costs $2.45 a pound is mixed with a trail mix that costs $2.30 a pound. How much of each type of trail mix must be used to have 30 pounds of trail mix that cost $2.35 a pound? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say the 245, I'm going to say that mix is X, and I'm going to say that the one that costs 230 is Y. Okay? Without writing it out again, just kind of save a little time here. My first equation is X plus Y. Well, how many am I going to have total of X and Y? 30. Okay, so there's a total of 30 pounds. Now we're going to switch to money. So 245X plus 230Y. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, because you need to know or include that you're going to have 30 pounds of it at $2.35 a pound. That's the trick right there. Make sure you multiply both of that together. I don't know if you guys remember back in lesson, I think it was 2.9, where we had to do those tables and the mixture problems. Okay, this is doing the mixture problems without the tables. So we would have added those columns together, and that's how it would have turned out. So, you do the 30 times the 235. Sure, let's do that. 30 times 235, I think it's 70, 50. Yeah, 70, 50. Okay, so again, just like the one we just did, you don't want 2.45x and 2.3 and all that. So we're definitely going to take this bottom equation times how much?
Negative 2.3.
I would take it times how much? 100. So I would have 245x plus 230y, and it would equal how much? 7,050. Okay, so the top equation, the x plus y equals 30. Any ideas what we might want to multiply by there?
245.
We could do, and we want to do the negative of it, right? So negative 245, is that what you want to do? I kind of like 230 better. Do you care if I do that? Because 230 is a little bit more rounded off. So I'm going to say negative 230x minus 230y, and 230 times 30 would be 6,900. So when I combine this together, the y's fall out again. I get 15x equals 150. Boy, that works out nice, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Divide that by 15, and x is 10. So that means that there are 10 pounds of the $2.45 cost. How can I find the y amount? Kind of what we did before. I'm going to plug it in. 10 plus y equals 30. Subtract 10. So the y is 20, so that means 20 pounds of the 230 amount. Questions about that? All right, looking ahead to number 13. Anna has $2.35 in nickels and dimes. If she has 33 coins in all, find the number of nickels and dimes. So I'm going to let N be nickels and D be dimes, if you're okay with that. My first equation is just simply going to be nickels plus dimes. How many are there total? 33. That's the quantity equation. Remember me talking about that in the past. That's the quantity equation. Now let's talk about the dollar amount, or the money amount. How much is a nickel worth? So 0.05 N, and then the dime amount's going to be what? 0.10D, and it equals what? How much money does she have? $235. So just like the ones we've done already today, we're definitely going to take this bottom equation times how much? 100, because we don't want to mess with all those decimals. So I'm going to take this bottom equation times 100 and make it 5N plus 10D equals 235. That looks nice. What do you want to take the top one times? Let's do -5. So -5D, or -5N, I'm sorry. Okay, so we multiplied by 100 to get this equation, multiplied this one times -5. You solve, you get 14 dimes. You substitute dimes in up here, the number 14, and you get 19 nickels. So 14 dimes and 19 nickels.